Tell Kane and Abby that they're on their own now. As long as they work together, everything will be okay. You remind them of that. You tell them to keep our people safe.
Who are you people?
Oh, I love her. She's the next.
You're watching this clip like you've never seen it before.
I know. I just love my cat. I love my cat so much.
Isaiah Washington stars as Chancellor Jaha. Did I pronounce that right?
Jaha.
Jaha, here on the CW's hit show, The 100. His upcoming project, Bound, is a documentary about the relationship between Africans and African Americans. He is in town for the Chicago premiere tonight at the DuSable Museum of African American History. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
You very much.
You said you were happy that we spelled your name right
I'm
for
always
once,
happy.
which is not like us.
And now you have it up there like 4 times.
Yeah.
And it's all spelled correctly. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's really about my name being spelled correctly.
Yeah, it's not like us to do that, so I'm happy that we were able to do that.
Hey, it's so cool to see a hit on the CW. We've been waiting. Why are these apocalyptic type shows becoming so popular now?
Well, I don't know. Just because, but I do know that our show is now moved away from that.
Okay.
It obviously is set 100 years in the future, but we're not really keen on using the post-apocalyptic or dystopian story. It's a character study. And it's a character study of every single one of the characters on the show, and it's a drama. You know, it's something that we've been experimenting with. Mark Pedowitz is my boss and fearless leader. He used to be at ABC, so now he's the president of the CW Network. We've worked together before. He created some great shows during his tenure at ABC, so now he's very competitive, and he's doing it now at the CW. He says, I can do the same thing at the CW, so that's why you're seeing Gina Rodriguez winning Golden Globes. And
yeah, it's exciting.
This show growing. Yeah. So I know the story about the CW, but we're there to change that, and we're doing it pretty efficiently.
Hey, we've been here trying to change it for years, right?
Yeah.
So
you arrived just in time.
Hey, tell us about this documentary that you're involved in and you're producing and you're going to be introducing tonight at the DuSable Museum.
Well, actually, I came on after about 2 years in with Perez Awino. She had been working on this project herself alone with some other colleagues. She reached out to me on Facebook, and I think she actually got my book, reached out to me and wanted to interview me. And as we did the interview, I was just a participant only at the point. But then when I started looking at some of her dailies and the rough cuts, I started seeing just really the weight of this. And so, like, you know, I think I want to come on as a producer on that, you know, on this. And let's keep working this. Let's keep massaging this. Mm-hmm. And I got to say, I'm very proud of Perez.
And what's the premise of the documentary? For
It's the conversation, a taboo conversation between Africans and African Americans. This rift, that we have, this distrust because we don't know each other. Mm-hmm. And in the documentary, we have some Africans, indigenous Africans, and African Americans having this very taboo conversation about, well, you enslaved us. You're in this situation because you sold us. And everyone said, wait a minute, you don't know my history. That's not correct. And you'd be surprised at how many Africans haven't been taught about chattel slavery. We just don't know each other's histories. And that's what this documentary does so well in 91 Minutes, is that it actually exposes both ignorance on both sides of the fence, and then opening an opportunity for a resolve and some healing.
And you recently did your DNA testing and tested your heritage, didn't you?
I tested with African Ancestry Incorporated in 2005.
Yeah.
And since then, I've received accolades for it on 2 continents. And I've also been given a name, Chief Gondabe Manga.
What did you find out about yourself?
What I found out about myself?
Yeah, what was your heritage that you didn't know?
That I'm no longer black. I don't have to just be a color. I actually have a peoples that I'm connected to, the Mindi Timni peoples on my mother's side. And on my father's side, I'm Mbundu, where the people now are residing in what we now know as Angola. And what that does for me on African Americans is that since we have been imported here, we don't have a mainland that we can point to like other indigenous people, like Italians and Spaniards and Chinese and Portuguese. You can point to Portugal. You can point to a mainland. So what it did for me is I can point to a particular region on that continent and have a strong sense of self just by the knowing of the legacy of those people. And that's what really, and it removed animus and envy from me, because I was like, well, how do I continue to exist? How do I assimilate? Do I assimilate to the European? Do I assimilate to the Asian perspective? Where do I fit in? And once I found that information, I said, okay, now I can calm myself and know that I'm clearly African American, and I'm an American, and I love this country, but I also want to get to know the peoples of the country that I was taken from.
That's really cool. So the event is Is it tonight or is it tomorrow night?
It's tonight.
Do we have the graphic? Yeah, there it is.
Tonight.
It's tonight, the Chicago premiere at the DeSable Museum of African American History.
Yes.
It's great. And will people be able to see this in theaters, the documentary as well?
We're working on that.
Yeah.
Perez Awino and I, who's actually here in the studio, we're working on that. We have a distribution deal that we're waiting to get the release date from. So it'll be available on Google Play, Hulu, Amazon.com, Xbox, PlayStation, those kind of things. And hopefully we'll see how that goes. We'll get it onto Netflix so everyone can enjoy it at home. That's our goal. And I'm also in talks with some other networks that, you know, I can't say.
Yeah.
But we're talking about some temporary licensing deals so they could be on those networks as well for a limited amount run. And then ultimately, if it really takes off based on the response, then we'll move into the next stage and have the DVDs available. So we want to try to get into all the colleges and high schools and have people see it.
That's great.
Are you going to be at the DuSable tonight?
We will try.
Is there free babysitting?
Yeah.
I'm known. I have 3 kids of my own.
Yeah.
Bring them.
Bring them with.
I'll have the popcorn, and I'm very entertaining.
And in the meantime, I'm sure you'll give us a call for the next CW party because we are underappreciated here in the CW. So you just give us a call. We'll come with you, have a cocktail, hang out.
You know, you dropped that twice. Now I get it. So this is a CW.
That's right.
Okay.
See? We'll be invited one of these days.
I will take that note back to Los Angeles.